protesting Iranians in the face of fierce repression by the regime. It all started on the 28th of December in the telephone and electronics market in Tehran. The local currency has collapsed. Prices have risen. The vendors have closed their shops to protest. In the following days, the movement gathers steam. Even universities have gotten involved, like this one, which we have geolocated to Tehran. In a country where protests have been banned, people stand their ground. On December 29th, footage of a man sitting before law enforcement becomes emblematic. And it's among the first videos of police committing violence against protesters. The man is seen being hit in the face. A few reports from news agencies circulate, only mentioning economic demands against the high cost of living.
The price of a liter of oil has doubled, and the government has announced an increase of 50 to 100% for other products.
Discontentment spreads throughout the population, which is even shared by these women who don't want to see an uprising.
We really don't want the regime to change. We don't want war or riots. We just want lower prices.
However, anti-regime slogans began appearing during marches on December 30th. We hear protesters chant, "Death to the dictator." Crackdowns go into full effect, with armed forces of the regime mobilizing in cities like Fasa, in the south of Iran, and during funerals in the far north of the country. But that does not stop the protests from spreading. We have located videos of protests in more than 20 cities. According to the American Institute of War, there could be even more. In response, on the 3rd of January, the Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, gave a speech addressing the public with a conciliatory opening.
The protests were often organized by shopkeepers and their arguments were valid.
Before taking a more menacing tone.
But there is no point in arguing with rioters. They must be put in their place.
State media attempt to discredit protesters, describing them as rioters, showing their alleged weapons and broadcasting confessions of masked detainees. Tehran residents share with us these text messages sent by the Revolutionary Guards to discourage participation in protests.
Dear parents, refrain from going out in high-risk areas. Make your children aware of the consequences of collaborating with terrorist mercenaries. It's an act of treason against the homeland.
We contacted a woman who had been in the streets over the weekend. She then later decided to not go out and protest.
People are very afraid. I went the day before yesterday and yesterday, but my husband asked me not to go out today because it's dangerous.
On January 9th, violence escalates in the streets as protesters set fire to several symbols of the regime. Here, a bank linked to the Revolutionary Guards, a mosque, and even the destruction of a police car. The authorities no longer hold their fire. On the 10th, we received these images of wounded people in the street. This man just made it out of Tehran, providing a rare testimony of the scene.
Every morning, even if you go to pick up your bread, you go shopping, you see the streets completely destroyed, and above all, you see blood. In the street, you see blood on the ground. In my case, even if you don't go out, if you stay at home, you can definitely hear the gunshots. Initially, it was flashballs on the first few nights, then it was live ammunition.
On the 8th, images surface of several bodies behind a hospital in the east of Tehran. We begin to understand the magnitude of the bloodshed. In this video, bodies are lined up over dozens of meters outside of a forensics institute. There could be well over hundreds.